What's happening, troops? So, going to do a turn the engine on. There we go. Going to do a pull day today with Scott, so I'll either do an edit or I will just do it raw, the way I've done that push workout. I probably won't do the voiceover though, it'll probably just be more of a talking through the workout while we do it, or as I said, or a wee edit. But yeah, I'll wait to pick up the midget just now. There's the boy. See that? Here we go. So, pull today, basically the focus of this session is primarily going to be a lot more lat focused, simply because that's what I need to bring up. Scott's just sort of tagging on with the sessions, to be fair. So Scott's quite happy just to sort of follow my sort of plan anyway, as again he's getting pretty decent volume to the muscles that he wants to anyway, and it's a bit too much of a pain, him trying to do his programme, me trying to do mine, and we've just only got this set up just now. So yeah, as I said, lat focused, and then what we do is we pair it with triceps just now. For me, the reason for doing it with triceps is arms is a big point we want to bring up. So if I tag on biceps at the end, my biceps are probably a bit fatigued, and I won't put as much effort into them as I would if I do triceps. Triceps are fresh, and it's that far away from my push day, it won't affect recovery from my push day as well. So yeah, going to dive into this session. Start off with cuffed pull downs, and we'll talk over why we're doing these movements as well. Started off there with the cuff pull down. Pretty much the reason behind doing this first is just because we're able to get the lats pretty short. We know later on in our workout the ability to actually contract our muscles a lot harder, so the reason why we put that first, just so we can get the benefits from doing it. Also just allows you to get your lats sort of primed if you're somebody that struggles to sort of feel your lats when you're training, which many people do. Doing something like this first, one, just you can essentially pre-fatigue the lats as well, and just get them fired up, so when you are going into the rest of your session, for me it's a bit more lat focused, and my ability to then feel my lats through the rest of the workout is pretty on point, so that's the reason for that. Big jailbait fucking 50 bastard there. So into our meat and potato movement now, we're going to go for bent over dumbbell row single arm. I had this in the gym, but obviously with the home gym equipment, as you've seen there, we have to band these dumbbells up, so not the most optimal setup, and plus we could have maybe set these up for dumbbell pressing, but the dumbbells are just too big, so that's why we need to stick to the barbells for the pressing stuff. But this will work well. Again, the whole point of doing this is when we're trying to initiate this movement, the whole focus is just bringing that upper arm, the humerus, right into the midline of the body, just try to really connect with that lat again as much as we can. So again, that's the primary reason for this movement, lat focused, and you'll see how we make it a bit more lat focused during the movement. Again, the focus here is just to make sure contractions are good as well. It's all good lifting these dumbbells, but if it doesn't look nice, then most likely you're not going to be stimulating that back as much as you could be if you dropped the weight a wee bit. So hopefully these look okay. Not done them in since the gyms have been closed. So yeah, 50 kg club. you might have noticed, well, when I'm going to do this, mine and Scott's foot positions are a bit different, so I'll talk over the different foot positions and why you would probably choose one over the other. So when Scott was doing it, with the arm he was rolling with and the foot behind him, for me I don't do that. When I do that, all I get is a lot of torso rotation, which basically means if I'm trying to stay on my lat here, I pull up, it's very easy to then have this rotation here, because this back leg is back, because this back leg is at the back. So when I'm doing it myself, I'll have this front foot forward, which means when I do get to this when I want to cheat, it's a lot harder to get torso rotation, which means the ability to keep the load on that lat is a lot better. So beginning out, if you're somebody that does have that torso rotation, then I probably wouldn't have that foot, the hands you're rolling with behind you. Like as somebody that's Scott's been training for years and knows how to keep it on the lat, that works better for him. He struggles to then bring the dumbbell up to his chest and get a good contraction, so for him it's a diminishing return doing it. So yeah, the thing that works for you, as long as you can stay on the muscle, progress it over time, keeping the same execution, and that's ultimately going to make you bigger. Again, not part of the pull day, but just throwing in some side lateral raises, simply because my delts need more volume. One of the biggest things this year was to bring up delts, arms and upper chest. So I'm putting delts in my pull day. Again, it's a good few days away on each side of both of my push days, so I can recover from it, I can progress them, and then obviously the more frequently we hit a muscle, the more volume we can put to it. Essentially we can get that muscle looking a wee bit bigger as well. So that's the thought process behind that. Again, I'm not going to go into it today because today is obviously about the pull day, but again, just to let you know, I'm adding in some side raises. There's nothing wrong with adding in some more volume on some movements you're wanting to do to bring up those lagging body parts. So yeah, if you're somebody that does have maybe lacking biceps, there's nothing wrong with throwing them in it on a leg day, as long as you can recover from them on the days that you do biceps as well. Everything's progressing, that's absolutely cushy. So while we're on the subject of doing this, I thought I'd mention basically the differences between a neutral grip pull down and then just your regular wide grip pull down. Now a lot of people think, most gym goers and pretty much even a lot of coaches and a lot of people out there always think or always give their clients, oh, lat pull down for lats. As me and Scott both know, when you start to learn about exercise biomechanics, etc., realise in terms of a regular lat pull down, challenging the lats, it's probably one of the worst movements to challenge the lats. It's not the worst, but in terms of what your lats function is, it's literally to bring the humerus upper arm down into the hip. So this is the function of your lat here. So that's why we opt for a neutral grip. So if you're really struggling to grow your back, make your back look a bit wider, you want to bias movements that are going to allow that elbow, that humerus to come in line with the body from all angles. Above, vertical, horizontal, you name it. Any movement in that direction is going to bias the lats. So when you do a wide grip pull down, you're actually probably focusing more on the upper back, a bit of mid traps and a bit of rhomboids, etc. So even if I jump on this position here, elbows in, this is all lat. Look at the extra degree of range of motion I can get. So when I'm doing a neutral grip, I can bring that elbow down here, that whole lat's engaged. If I'm doing a wide one, that's where it stops. You're getting an extra few inches of range of motion as well. So if you are somebody in your training that does think a regular lat pull down is lats, change your grip, get a neutral grip, progress that, get strong, and then watch yourself grow a big pair of lats. Jump into our upper back row just now. So chest support, simply because we want to limit the fucking can't speak lower back loading, simply because that causes a lot of central nervous system fatigue throughout the week. And obviously we get legs tomorrow as well, so it wouldn't make sense to do a lower back loading movement if we've got squats tomorrow, because then our ability to then load squats would be shit. Using the easy bar, simply because we can get a wee bit more range when we are doing the upper back row. We can just get it a bit further back. If we use a big bar, it's a bit limited. So that's the rationale behind that. So 2 sets of this. We'll smash through that, and again the focus here is just all upper back, so brute strength, focus on contractions. Again, with the chest support, it's hard to cheat and it's hard to use momentum, so we just know it's a complete upper back that's working through and getting recruited as well. that's today's pull session. Wrapped up / delt pop up / triceps, so not actually a pull, but it is. So yeah, that's because we set up every pull session. So literally every set you'd have seen there was either some sort of loading set and back off, or just straight 8 to 12. Like the rep range being an 8 to 12 or a 10 to 15. So again, with every session we do with that, we let any muscle group at all. The goal is just to get strong across multiple rep ranges. We know from research that's probably the most beneficial way to grow. So that's why we include all those different rep ranges as well. But again, when you're setting up a session, everything doesn't need to be black and white. Like you don't, just because you're doing pull doesn't mean that literally just needs to be back and biceps. As you've seen today, I've done obviously back. We've done delts and then also done triceps as well. Again, we've got the ability to recover from that additional arm work and that additional delt work as well. And again, the reason for pairing some triceps there is simply because when I go into biceps, just because of my grip throughout every movement today, my biceps would have had some sort of fatigue. So my ability to put the same load to them would have maybe been diminished a wee bit. Again, it's not massive, it's an extra few percent, but again, I'm trying to make the most progress I can. So I'm happy to then pair triceps with that. Vice versa, on one of my push days, I do biceps, then I've got another push day, and I do triceps with that as well. So yeah, that was the run through. Obviously, there's more of these videos to come. I plan to make one on a leg day, just going over how I set that up. And also as well, when we're back in the gym, sessions are going to look a bit different. You'll be able to relate to the sessions a bit more, simply because you have obviously you have access to all that equipment as well. So, and yeah, that is us. And you can use that as a wee still.